Good morning, everyone. How could you feel if if you would come to know that there is a tunnel in your colony which could not be found by the residents of your colony, and how could you feel? Will you think about that it's a fantasy or it's a reality or something paranormal activities are there? uh, you might have uh, you might have thought about this kind of situation. So here I'm going to explain the third level, a story penned by Jack Finney. Jack Finney is an American writer, and during his lifetime, uh, uh, he has witnessed two World War One and World War Two, and the story is about psychological impact on human beings. This war anxiety, rush in the life, these kind of psychological things or psychological behavior or psychological, I can say, problems. They are discussed in this story. So before starting the story, I would like to start this explanation with the giving you a brief introduction of the characters of the story. Number one is the narrator, and narrator, his name is Charlie. Charlie is the narrator, and you can say the main lead in the story. So Charlie represents actually the modern human with anxiety, with fear, and Charlie is a man who is seeking refuge, who is who wants peace in his life, or the tranquility in his life. Right. So Charlie is representing modern human over here, who is suffering from war anxiety or the rapid industrialization or rush in the life or modern life, these kind of things. His second character is his wife, Charlie's wife. Charlie's wife is Luza. Luza, actually, she is very practical, very rational, and concerned as well. And she represents mainstream society, the mainstream society. Charlie somehow, uh, this kind of people, Charlie's kind of people who are, I can say, so much emotional or facing some problem, some psychological problem due to this stress. So Charlie is like this, and Loza, his wife, she is very rational. She is very practical, right? So as she is very rational and very practical, she represents the mainstream society, right? And skeptical of Charlie's fantasy and worried about his mental health. Luza is skeptical. Luza, she is skeptical. She does not understand that Charlie is having this. She only understands that Charlie is imagining his fantasy world and like wanted to escape from his present life. So this kind of loser thinks so. Now coming to the third character in the story, that is Sam. Sam is a psychiatrist friend of Charlie. As Charlie is having some problems, some issues, some psychological issues, so his psychiatrist friend Sam, he treats him. Now Sam is he is also very rational. He is professional and meant to read Charlie's behavior. ठीक है. And Sam's role highlights how modern profession interacts and medicalize human anxiety. So modern profession medicalize human anxiety. Whatever the reason was, Sam was Sam was trying to find a medical term, or medical term for Charlie's anxiety. So these are three major characters, and fourth, it is not the living character but non-living character, and that is Grand Central Station. So Grand Central Station, actually, Grand Central Station, it is described uh, very deeply by the writer. Grand Central Station, it the detail was given in the story, so that and it was the third level of Grand Central Station. It was the imagination of Charlie. Although it was the imagination of Charlie, or we cannot say whether the station is real or it's a fantasy, or it's merely a imagination or some psychological disorder of Charlie. But still, the description, very vivid and very live and very realistic description was given of this third level of Grand Central Station. So we can say this is also major character in the story, although non-living characters. So these are the things about the characters. Now the theme, right? So the theme of the story, the third level. First, escape and nostalgia. Nostalgia means carrying back like old memories. Nostalgia. If you have the good memories, uh, you want, like, people talk about the good memories. People talk about good things which happened in the past, and they in this way they feel calm. They feel better, and somehow, somewhat, they get strength to fight their present life, fight anxieties in the present life. So nostalgia is there in this story, right? And the central theme, like Charlie's yearning, is not merely for a place but for an era. Third level was not, Charlie did not imagine the place of third level, but the era, the time period was very different. It was different from the modern life. It was associated, the era of third level imagined by Charlie, it was associated with the late 18th or early 19th century, right? So this is the theme. Second character of the theme is reality versus illusion. Charlie's reality was full of anxiety, war anxiety, very fast life, rapid industrialization, or a rush in day-to-day life, fear for his son, fear for his family's security. So these kind of things, like anxiety, the present anxiety, this is the reality of Charlie's life. But what was the illusion? Illusion was the third level, where Charlie found peace, tranquility, comfort, safety. So that was the imagination. Reality versus imagination. This is the major character of the theme of third level. Next, we are talking about modernity and alienization. Modernity. People are like, you can understand this thing in this manner. Imagine a village and metro city, right? So the life between these two places, the great difference you can find out. In a village, people are calm, composed, they are doing their work, they work easily, they are not rushing, they are not like, they have time for their relation, they have time for sitting idly and talking good things with their children or neighbors, right? And here in city life, we people are rushing. We people are rushing. We are chasing something which is not so much, uh, not so much valuable. But we city people are rushing, right? And this rush gives us sometimes anxiety, fear, and insecurity. So these questions have been putting in the story. This psychological disorder was being discussed in the story, right? And next character of the theme is coping mechanism and mental health. Coping mechanism. We all have coping mechanism. How could we cope with the difficulties or some like new problems, whatever. So everybody has coping mechanism. Here Charlie is having coping mechanism by seeking refuge in the last level, in the third level. So this is the coping mechanism. How could we how can we cope with our anxiety, fear, instability, or insecurity? So we all have the coping mechanism. The story is telling about the coping mechanism as well. Modern life and coping mechanism. So these are the characters of the theme of the third level. Now, some symbols and some motives are there in this story. The third level, a symbol of a desire or return to simpler life. Third level symbolizes desire or return to a simpler life. Sometimes, like city people, they talk about their village life, they talk about their parents' village life or grandparents' village life. How cool they were, how comfortable they were, how simple they were. So return to a simpler life, right? So this third level symbolizes like this. And also third level symbolizes as psychological layer beneath daily life. Psychological layer beneath daily life, day to day, like city people I'm talking about. So city people, day to day, they struggle with new problems, or anxiety I can say, or fear I can say. So this third level, or the calm place, third level symbolizes as a calm place or return to a simpler life. So the third level also symbolizes a psychological layer beneath the daily life. Second motive we can discuss, train or station. So this trains going to the future, going to the past. So they are moving from future to past. This train symbolizes the movement of trains, symbolizes like this in the story. Third, old-fashioned elements. So horse-drawn carriage. These are the old-fashioned elements which are given in the story, which are the character of the third level of Grand Central Station. So contrast with modern noise and war talk. So modern noise and war talk, where the story's plot has set um, by Jack. So this old-fashioned elements have been put to memorize the simpler life in the past. So these are some symbols and motives are there for the story. Now we are talking about the style, language, and tone of the story. So the style, the language is very simple in this story. Conversational narration we can find out in the story, right? The story is told in first person with a mix of humor and matter of fact reporting. So simple language is there. You can find simple language in the story. Now, descriptive detail. When Jack is talking about the third level, so he's giving a descriptive detail of third level. That what kind of like what kind of clothes people were wearing, hats. He's talking about the newspaper. He's talking about the this horse carrying carriages, or like he has given descriptive detail of third level, right? And ambiguity and irony. Jack is very smart putting an open end of the story. He's very he's witfully he has given an open end of the story. Ambiguity is there because at last we cannot imagine whether it is the paranormal activity or a psychological disorder or the realistic world, or majorly an imagination, or like we cannot understand at the end of the story, because Sam was also there, and we cannot say that it was not an imagination of Charlie, because Charlie has received one letter. So that letter may be the imagination of Charlie or may not be the imagination of Charlie. Maybe it is something else. Like we cannot understand. So this story gives us the very good ending for debate, for discussion, for further writing of the story. Right? So Jack is very smart, very witful, giving this kind of end. Now, we have done, like we have touched all these things about the character or the theme or the style of the story. Now at last I would like to tell you the story, that what is the story. Although all 12th graders you know very well, this is the story of your book Vista, grade 12 CBSE book, right? So the story starts with the men, that Charlie Charlie is a man representing the modern human. He's working, but he's having anxiety or fear or insecurity about his family, about his like about his life, his own life, and wanted to go to a place, wanted to escape from this anxiety, from this fear. Like he does not want to stay in this modern life. Wanted to have peace in his life, and he found third level of the station, third level of Grand Central Station. Although there was no third level, it was written over there that people did not find any third level over here, but Charlie found. He did not only find this third level, but also witnessed so many things which were old fashioned. So somehow, somewhere, Charlie went into the past. And he was he felt peace over there. He was very secure. He did not have any anxiety in the past. But his wife and his psychiatrist friend Sam, they did not believe on him, and ultimately they ask, they inquire, and his wife was very rational and very practical. His wife was very concerned. She was concerned about his mental health, Charlie's mental health, and Sam also, psychiatrist friend of Charlie. But ultimately, at the end of the story, Charlie found a letter from Sam that Sam entered into the past. Now we cannot say whether this is also the imagination of Charlie, or in reality Sam entered into the past. We cannot say. So this story tells about the psychological disorders of this rushing life, this modern life, where somehow somewhere people did not have truth or peace. So the story treats us like this only. So this is all about the story. If you have any question, if you want further explanation of this story, Please write on the comment section, and please share and like the video and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.